lives may be in danger. Why? You've seen things that weren't to be seen. Care and discretion are necessary. As I said, I can provide you with information, so long as it's in my best interest to do so.
My question is to Clement Stone. You said you had seen aliens on a craft that had crashed. I wondered if you could describe what they looked like.
I could, but it would probably take a whole lot of time. The reason I state that, when I got out in 1989, we had cataloged 57 different species. You have individuals that look very much like you and myself that could walk among us and you wouldn't even notice the difference, except for some of the things that they might be able to go ahead, even in a dark room, and touch an object and go ahead and identify what color that object might be. They would have a heightened sense of smell, sight, hearing. The situation is that you have various types of what we normally call grays. We didn't call them grays in the military, but you had at least 3 types of the grays.
Accident of decompression during re-entry. They were not shot down by our fighter planes. They suffered an operational loss. However, in this particular case, it was very fortunate that our alert radar net in the western states had the UFO on its screen. In fact, 3 radar stations were tracking an unidentified object at immense altitude and traveling at unbelievable speed. When it stopped, fluttered, went out of control, and fell circling toward the Earth. Because 3 radar stations were locked on it, they were able to triangulate the point at which it reached Earth. That point was 3 miles west of the small town of Aztec, New Mexico, in the northern part of the state near the Colorado line. At that time, I owned and operated a ranch in the high mountains of northern New Mexico. It happened in my neighborhood. All available law enforcement officers were rushed to the scene, and planes were flown from the nearest major Air Force base, which is Edwards Air Force Base in the Mojave Desert. And as they landed, there was a silvery gleaming disc-shaped spacecraft standing on a tripod landing gear. Apparently it made an automatic landing after its occupants had died. And as the local sheriffs approached with drawn guns, oh, you may be sure the guns were drawn. Let anything new appear, and the guns are drawn. They surrounded the spacecraft and peered into the cockpit. And there, slumped over their instruments, motionless, were 12 small men. The Air Force arrived, and due to their ingenuity, it was quite ingenious, but I won't go into the technical details, they managed to get the door open, and the medical officers said that the bodies were still limp and warm. They had been dead only a short time. They were put aboard a hospital plane and flown to the nearest large mortuary, which is at Edwards Air Force Base, where they have, as do all large military establishments, a large refrigerated morgue. After all, a very large base devoted to death would need a morgue. And the city of Tampa has a refrigerated morgue for overnight visitors who can't find hotel accommodations. And Edwards Air Force Base received this, and in February 1948. Now that was in one of the worst periods of the Cold War, And the president was notified, but the president didn't come. No one knew quite what to do. The bodies were carefully preserved in cryonic suspension, which is not, as the Air Force spokesman on the television program yesterday, in ridiculing and abusing me, said that Bob Carr says little green men are being kept in the frozen food locker.
Tethered to a burning sphere by invisible force. An unfathomable universe. To a burning sphere by invisible force. An unfathomable universe.
Come here.
What?
Come here.
Who?
Come here. No, right below it.
Well,
I think it's been going back and forth because something came out of it.
oh, it's the airplane.
No, it isn't.
Blinking light.
No, it's been coming back and forth. It's been there for 5 minutes. It's been going back and forth, and some light thing came out of it. I watched it. I don't know what the hell that thing is. Just watch it.
I am.
Where's it going now?
Just sitting up there.
What's it doing that for?
I don't know what it's doing. Maybe it's practicing.
Yeah, right. It's not an airplane, I guarantee you that.
Like a helicopter.
Watch it come right over my head. It always does that.
It's probably because it's an airplane. Oh, it's an airplane with its headlights.
No, because it was going back and forth. I got it on video. I got the light coming out underneath. Some dim light came out of it.
Which direction?
It went to the right. It's
Going in an odd way.
It's really weird wherever the heck it is. Look, it's gonna put a light right toward me so I can't
It's
see.
not toward you. It happens to be going a different. It's just whatever direction it's pointing is when you see that big light.
Yeah, this helps to hide the whole damn airplane or whatever the hell it is. I don't know what the hell it is.
I don't either.
It's weird.
Was it
It looks really weird.
Was it hovering by
Damn.
Venus?
Close to it.
Or was it just like this, coming toward you?
It was going back and forth, north and south. It's getting weird. The airplane doesn't have a light that's shining down this way. Look how bright that light is.
Shining at us, or you would feel it.
That thing is bright. I'm telling you, it's not an airplane or a helicopter. I was watching the heck out of it. If it turned out to look like an airplane. The airplane doesn't have a light that's shining down this way. Look how bright that light is.
Shining at us, or you would feel it.
That thing is bright. I'm telling you, it's not an airplane or a helicopter.
Plane in the video that you can see, there's a plane, but it was probably 30 or 40,000 feet lower than what we were able to. The lights were way up there. I don't know how to explain that.
So when you say they were in formation, okay, we're watching some video now. I don't know if you can see it, but they kind of move apart and then they kind of come back together. What did you think when you saw this?
Well, like I say, at first they were in a straight line before we got the camera, and then they started moving into different formations. I've actually am working with some of your folks there in Atlanta right now. I'm downloading another almost 11 minutes of video from the same situation there. And they moved in different formations, trapezoid, square, kind of a W, and then it moved into a diamond. So it was very specific type formations. And then one by one, they started to blink.